In comes a counterpunch. What a tremendous shot by Tyson. Lucky that he got up. The patented Tyson killer, the left hook.
Ruddock goes down for the...
Most opponents lost to Mike Tyson before the first bell, paralyzed by the terrifying myth of Iron Mike. But Donovan Razor Ruddock wasn't looking at the myth. He was looking directly at the man's throat. This wasn't just another payday. It was a collision of raw violence that forced Tyson to realize his aura alone wouldn't win this fight.
On pay dirt, landing good punches. In comes a counterpunch. What a tremendous shot by Tyson. Lucky that he... Wonderful left hook. The patented Tyson killer, the left hook.
Ruddock goes down for the second time tonight.
How did Tyson react to a man who refused to blink? Watch this. Ruddock possessed a weapon so devastating it redefined Tyson's entire defensive strategy, the smash.
He shocked the world in Tokyo. So this March 1991 fight billed at the Mirage in Las Vegas in the making, and it carried a stake that went beyond bragging rights. The winner was next in line for Holy, sitting with just how...
A hybrid hook uppercut that defied traditional boxing physics. It was the first time Mike truly feared a single punch landing. This fear didn't break him. It sharpened him into a diamond, forcing a level of conditioning the world had never seen.
Razor is like a man about to take his whipping. He didn't certainly come out with any desire or energy. A lot of good people in his corner, but nobody can patch up after a body beating like he's taking. Good punching left hook.
Want to see the punch that forced Tyson to train like a madman? Look at the impact. Behind the scenes, Tyson's camp described an atmosphere of pure desperation leading up to the fight. He wasn't just hitting the heavy bag, he was trying to kill it, knowing Ruddock's chin was made of granite. If you respect this level of absolute mastery and the hunger to evolve under lethal pressure, you must subscribe to this channel right now. But what happened when Tyson realized his power wasn't enough? See the exhaustion.
The heavyweight champ Evander Holyfield thinks watching this fight. Tyson switching the attack quite well, but still throwing in just one punch at a time style. Better from him, body shot, then the left hook.
Authenticity in the ring isn't about trash talk. It's about what you can endure when the lights are brightest. Ruddock took Tyson's best shots, the kind that ended careers, and simply smiled back through the blood. This psychological warfare forced Tyson to dig into a dark, primal place he hadn't visited since his amateur days. How does a predator react when the prey starts hunting back? Witness the moment the momentum shifted.
If nothing else happens in the round, even if he lasts through the end of the round, that will be scored 10-8 against him because of the knockdown. Ruddock had landed a couple of good shots, left himself open for the right. He's caught with another left foot there, and another one. His gum shield's come out. He has to cover up again.
They don't stop the action, though. Just when you think Ruddock...
Tyson's evolution against Ruddock laid the blueprint for how he would later have to handle Evander Holyfield. Holyfield, like Ruddock, understood that Tyson's raw power required a response of iron-willed technicality and relentless forward pressure. It is the hallmark of calculated dominance to meet fire with a hotter flame. Can you spot the exact similarity in how they stood their ground against the legend? Compare the stances. The first Ruddock fight ended in a controversial stoppage, but the damage to the myth was already done. Tyson had been pushed to the absolute brink of his physical and mental limits, proving that even a god of the ring can be made to bleed if the opponent is sufficiently unfiltered. This wasn't a boxing match. It was an exorcism of Tyson's ego. Do you want to see the moment Tyson realized he was in a life or death struggle? Observe his face. The second clash between Tyson and Ruddock was a psychological furnace that burned away any remaining doubt about Tyson's chin.
Mike Tyson, sockless, has gone not as far as his fists. And Razor Ruddock on the other end of the...
And you're as big as Razor Ruddock. You wonder why in the world he's not muscling him, throwing him around instead of standing there and taking punches. He's got to get something off. He could get...
While the world saw two giants trading leather, the experts saw a masterclass in calculated dominance under extreme duress. Tyson wasn't just fighting an opponent, he was fighting the rising narrative that his invincible era was over. How does a king maintain his throne when the walls are literally crumbling around him? Watch his eyes. In the 6th round, Tyson landed a right hand that shattered Ruddock's jaw, yet the razor refused to go down. This moment redefined what it meant to be a professional predator. Tyson didn't panic. He adjusted his rhythm, proving that his mastery extended far beyond a one-punch mythos into the realm of tactical endurance.
It seems as if Tyson has dominated him so much that Ruddock has lost interest.
Ruddock just trying to catch his breath, looking for a second win here. His body damaged over the first 3 rounds.
Watch your head, watch your head. Right, somebody.
Do you want to see the exact moment Tyson realizes he has to break a man who refuses to break? Observe the transition in his footwork. This level of grit is what separates the legends from the stars. Tyson's ability to navigate the deep water against Ruddock provided a blueprint for every heavyweight who followed, yet few could replicate the sheer volume of his output. It was a terrifying display of owning the air in the room, forcing the opponent to breathe only when the master allowed it. What happens when a fighter realizes he's run out of oxygen? Witness the exhaustion set in. If you think this level of psychological warfare was unique to Tyson, you haven't studied the calculated dominance of Evander Holyfield.
This did not look like a Tyson blowout. Ruddock met him in the center of the ring and traded, unafraid, unbothered by Tyson. In round 2, Tyson landed a hook that appeared to catch Ruddock, sending him down, though the punch shoulder grazed than a fight-ending blow, and Ruddock's corner erupted in protest, convinced the knockdown call was overly generous to round 3.
Holyfield watched the Ruddock fights and saw not a monster, but a man who could be out-toughed through sheer proximity. He understood that to defeat a god of war, you must be willing to burn in the same fire. Can you see the similarity in how Holyfield bridges the gap against Tyson? Compare the head-to-head clinch. Holyfield's mastery was in his unfiltered aggression. He didn't just box Mike, he bullied the bully. By standing his ground and refusing to give an inch of the ring's center, he effectively neutralized the most feared hook in boxing history. This was the ultimate chess move played with human fists. Want to see the moment Tyson realizes his intimidation has zero effect on the real deal? Look at his frustrated reaction after a clinch. But the evolution of heavyweight mastery didn't stop with Holyfield. When we talk about owning the room, we must discuss the technical apex reached by Lennox Lewis. Lewis was the intellectual giant who treated the ring like a laboratory, dissecting opponents from a distance that felt like a mile away. He proved that reach is only a weapon if you have the IQ to calibrate it. How does a man use a jab to keep a legend at bay? Watch the lead hand. Lewis's dominance was a slow-motion execution. He didn't need the frantic energy of Tyson's early years because he possessed the absolute certainty of the eventual result. This is the definition of definitive authority, when the opponent knows they are losing, but there is absolutely nothing they can do to change the outcome. Do you want to see the moment the iron finally cracks under the weight of superior strategy? Observe the final knockdown. This transition from raw power to tactical brilliance is a cycle we see in every great champion. Look at George Foreman, the man who reinvented the concept of calculated dominance in his second career. He replaced youthful speed with a terrifying, immovable presence, proving that a master doesn't need to chase. He simply waits for the target to arrive.
In the second round. Round 2. Scheduled for 15, the heavyweight championship of the world. Oh, good right hand on the left-hand side of the face of Norton. Norton has Foreman is teeing off, and it looks like Norton has really been stacked.
Can you spot the moment Foreman sets the trap for Michael Moorer? Look at the slow, heavy jab. Foreman's victory wasn't a miracle. It was a demonstration of unfiltered experience over youthful arrogance.
Foreman twice coming up and under with the left hand. And remember, when you're watching George Foreman, you're watching to knock opponents out with glancing blows. His hands are so heavy that what becomes a knockout punch doesn't only go in, and Rodriguez goes down.
He stayed calm while the world screamed for him to hurry, proving that time is a weapon if you know how to wield it. This is the master's secret, the ability to remain still while everyone else is panicking. What does it look like when a 45-year-old man shocks the entire world? Watch the knockout again in slow motion.
The bell for round 1. Coming up next, Boone Kirkman. We may really see a fight.
Well, we're really seeing fights now. These guys are fighting
Foreman laying back and
Hit the ropes. He's
quite
scared.
evidently
He's scared. They're
tired.
on the ropes. Hit the ropes. Hit the ropes. Hit the ropes.
Whether it's Tyson's ferocity, Holyfield's heart, or Foreman's patience, the common thread is a refusal to be anything other than the primary force in the ring. They don't react to the environment, they dictate it. This is the hallmark of a master. The air in the room belongs to them the moment they walk through the ropes. Can you see the shift in the atmosphere when a legend enters the arena? Witness the walkouts. Mastery is also about the ability to absorb the unfiltered truth of a defeat and return even stronger. Tyson's post-prison career, though controversial, showed a man who had to find new ways to dominate when his physical prime had passed.
Tyson, get out of there. Break somebody.
Oh, body shot by Tyson.
Uppercut by Tyson, and the crowd groaned. That sounded like he hit a drum. Again, the crowd groaned.
Relentless attack by Tyson. Real.
He became a student of the short, explosive burst, a calculated version of his former self. Want to see the terrifying speed that remained even in his later years? Look at the combination against Francois Botha. The Iron Era ended not because of a lack of skill, but because the sport evolved toward the giant technicians like Lewis and the Klitschko brothers. These men took the calculated dominance blueprint and scaled it to a height the world wasn't prepared for. They proved that if you can own the distance, you can own the soul of the opponent. How does a 6'7" giant make a world-class fighter look like an amateur? Watch the distance control. Yet, despite the evolution of the sport, we always return to the raw, visceral mastery of the 90s. The wars between Tyson, Ruddock, and Holyfield remain the gold standard for what it means to be unfiltered in the face of death. These men didn't just box. They performed a ritual of dominance that will never be replicated. Do you want to see the final piece of evidence that Tyson's spirit was unbreakable in his prime? Look at his reaction to the bell. The physical battle is merely the aftermath. The true conquest occurs in the locker room and during the stare-down. Tyson didn't just want to win. He sought to dismantle his opponent's identity before the first bell even rang. It is a psychological haunting that lingers long after the arena lights go down.
He doesn't have any coherence to his plan. He's just absorbing the punishment.
Oh, a big left. And a low blow counter by Tyson. But Tyson seemed...
How does a man lose a fight before it even begins?
And doesn't give opponents the chance to land clean shots.
Are you saying you got Tyson? I got Tyson over Mayweather. That's huge. Why? I just got Floyd because he's younger, 10 years younger.
I hear bigger punches, man. You're going to get toe up.
Really?
He redefined mastery by turning defense